Hi everyone, welcome to Abiding Home. So today I'm going to be talking about just starting out your baby on solid foods. It's an exciting time when your little one is ready to, add in some other foods other than breast milk or formula. And I'm just going to share some of my personal experiences, what we did with our son and what did and didn't work, as well as just some things to look out for when you're looking at baby food or making your own baby food, what to look out for when you're just starting out. So first off, some of the signs to look out for to see whether your baby is ready for solids is a lot of times around 4 or 5 months, baby will sort of, be interested in food. They'll look at you while you're eating with a spoon or fork, and they'll sort of grab towards, want to grab what you're eating, and so they're just showing an interest in food. Another thing is they're sitting up a little bit more sturdily, maybe not like, sitting up completely by themselves, but when you sit them up and sort of spot them, they're able to have that upper body strength to have a little bit more stability. And another thing is just they're just 5 or 4, 5, 6 months, and it might be time to just test it out. Maybe they don't have all the signs, but you just want to give it a try and see if they'll like it. So the timelines are different for every child as far as when they're ready to start out with solids, and so that is between you and your baby, and it's completely a personal choice. So some things that have helped us when we started, I think our son was about 4.5 months when we started out and felt comfortable with feeding him some solids. And in introducing solids, something that is very helpful is to start out, especially with, fresh foods or these baby food bottles. Is to start out with one type of food at a time. So for instance, just starting out with sweet potatoes, or starting out with, just banana, or just prunes. Something like that allows you to introduce one food at a time in little bits, like maybe giving just a couple little tiny spoonfuls at a time, and seeing if they're going to have any reaction to that food. There will be some sort of a reaction, like their stools might change a little bit, but overall just monitoring for any allergies or any severe reactions. So that was helpful for us. We started out, we did a little bit of sweet potato bottle, and he did pretty well with it. He didn't have any, breakouts or rashes or anything like that from it. And so we were comfortable with giving him a little bit more next time. Same with banana. It was just, giving him a couple bites, seeing how he reacted to it, and then moving on. The nice thing with the baby food bottles is that they actually come with a stage number on the on one of the sides of their labels. They'll say stage 1, 4 months plus. So usually they recommend starting at least at 4 months. And so stage 1 are usually the safest to feed to your baby initially. Usually they are just one food. So this one is stage 1, it's the beech nut organics, and it's just the pumpkin. So it's one food at a time. Now, something that I found is that even though there might be stage 1, the actual consistency of the food, depending on what food it is, might be more thick or more runny. So just because it's a stage 1 doesn't mean that it's all going to be extra runny, and just because you're going to a stage 2 doesn't mean that it's going to be super thick. It's just overall what they find works better for that age range. So a lot of times with the stage 2, that's usually 6 months plus, you'll have mixes of different fruits or vegetables, like this one's pears, mangoes, and spinach. So you have a little bit more variety. Here's another stage 2, it's banana, orange, and pineapple. So there's a lot of fun flavors out there. Another tip to note, what I found when I just started out with looking for baby foods is that a lot of the baby foods are very applesauce based. So my recommendation is read the back of the label for the ingredients. Like for instance, this one is organic pumpkin, so I know baby's getting pumpkin. Some of the mixed ones like apple, raspberry, and avocado, this is a stage 2. It looks like, oh, this is a lot of fun, different flavors and textures. But this one, the number one ingredient is organic apple, and then organic raspberries and avocado. So apple is still the number one ingredient in this one. And then and then some like pear and blueberries. All the ingredients in here are just pear and blueberries. So I would say try a variety. Make sure that the first ingredient in most of the foods you're giving is not all apple, because who of us would want to be eating apples all the time or applesauce all the time? We just want to vary it up as much as possible, so they're just getting some different nutrients. And then also some do add more, like this one, it's the Beech-Nut Organics banana, and they have organic banana, organic lemon juice concentrate. So they're adding a little bit of a lemon juice as a preservative. So some will have more or less preservatives as well. Here's one just to make my point. It's apple, kiwi, and spinach, which is kind of, seems like a fun mix. And the first ingredient is apple, and then kiwi and spinach. So once again, I try not to do, something with apple as the first ingredient every day of the week. I try to vary it. Now my son is 7 months, so he definitely does stage 1 still and stage 2 in these types of foods. And I also will blend and make my own. Something that's super easy is something like with pure banana. Now these are lifesavers when you're out and about and just packing your bag, you're going on a road trip. These are super nice to just throw in the bag. They're they're not gonna go bad. So I mix and vary, making my own baby food along with using pre-made foods, and I find that it works well. You really have to find what works well for you, for your stage in life, for how many kids you have, for the capacity that you have for a little extra time to make, things from scratch. There shouldn't be any shame revolving feeding your child. It should be what you're comfortable with, what your child does well with, and your baby best, and your schedule best, and what you have just room and leverage for. So I just want to cheer you on in that process, and I would love for you to share what you do for your baby foods, what fun flavors you've tried. And something to note, with ones that I make, I blend things that are super easy to just make on your own, which ends up being a lot cheaper, is things like banana. Like bananas are maybe 19 to 30 cents a banana, and so you could just cut half a banana, blend it really quick, and it's super just sweet and has a nice gooey texture, and that's really easy to do at home if you have the capacity for that and the time for that. Or sweet potato, you just boil half or a whole sweet potato, blend it with a little bit of water, and there you can bottle it up into bottles and also feed your baby as well. And you could add a little bit more or less water depending on how comfortable they are or where they're at with their textures and how thick or thin they're comfortable with eating. So those are just some tips. And we haven't moved up into eating foods in cubes and doing like exploratory eating. That's something I'm really looking forward to have him dive into. But for now, it's just been introducing different flavors, different foods. Another tip and trick is start with not the yucky stuff first, but with things like vegetables. Like where is this spinach, zucchini, peas. He did okay with that. start with things that aren't super sweet in the beginning. That way they get introduced to eating more flavors than just something like banana that's very sweet, or blueberries or mangoes, because kids tend to like the sweeter stuff. So definitely, put in some veggies and some milder flavors in there in the beginning, so that they will happily eat the sweet stuff, and you will very likely not have any issues with them eating like sweets or sweet fruits, not sweets like candy, but sweet fruits. So yeah, I hope some of these tips are helpful for you, and I'm still learning, and I would love to hear your feedback as to some things that are really working out well for you as well. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.